We're starting a new chapter now in this particular AutoCAD Essentials course. We're going to be taking a look at attributes and diving deeper into AutoCAD tables. Now, we've got a new drawing for you, and we're going to be taking a look at attributes first. The drawing is called Office Workstation.dwg. And when you open up the drawing, you'll see a little desk there. Open it up in the Model tab, as you can see on the screen, and also in the Home tab in the Layers panel. Just make sure that you're using the Attributes layer there on the layer dropdown. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add some attributes to this Office workstation and make it into a block that has those attributes. Now, those attributes give you extra information about your AutoCAD block. Now, they're text attributes normally, and they can either be visible or invisible as well. So they don't actually have to be displayed on the screen. In this case, we will display them because I want to obviously show you how it all works. But you can set your attributes to invisible, and then they are data enclosed with the block, and then you can use things like data extraction perhaps, and drop that into an AutoCAD table. So let's take a look at how we can place some attributes for our workstation block here. So what we're going to do is we'll stay on the attributes layer for the moment while we create the attributes. And then what we'll do is we'll look at layers when we bring the block back into the drawing later on in the video. So we go to the Insert tab on the ribbon, and you want the block definition panel here, and you want Define Attributes. Okay, click on it, and you'll see that you have the Attribute Definition dialog box. Now, for many, many years, I used to have to create blocks in AutoCAD. And I always used to type in the command for this particular dialog box to appear. If you look at the command line, the thing that I had to type was ATTDEF, @def. And that is just the standard keyboard entry to bring up the attribute definition dialog box if you want to use keyboard entry. Obviously, it's there on the ribbon as well. Now, you'll notice there's that invisible option. Now, I want you to make sure that that is unticked because we want our attributes to be visible in this particular case. Now, the first one is going to have a tag, and it's going to be employee name. Now, remember, tags cannot have spaces in them. It's really important. Otherwise, it just won't work. So we're going to go employee underscore name. I always put them in caps. You don't have to. It'll automatically convert them to caps anyway, those tags. Now, the prompt there will actually be a physical prompt. So we're going to have employee name, question mark. And the default there, we'll put in something like Fred Blogs. In fact, no, I'm going to go wild. We're going to have Luke Skywalker. Let's do that. So we'll have Luke Skywalker as the default employee name. Now, the other thing we need to do is make sure that the specify on screen is ticked so that we can specify where it goes. Justification to the left is fine. That's the default. Text style, though, I'm going to change that to standard. And text height for this drawing, we're going to have 150 in there. So 150. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click on OK. And there's our employee name attribute there. Just pick a point about there. That's fine for this particular block. And then we're going to right click and repeat @def. We're going to create another one, but we're going to tick this little box here, align below previous attribute definition. Now, as soon as you do that, your insertion point and text settings gray out because it's using the same one. So we're going to have the employee number. So we'll have EMP underscore NO like that. The prompt will be employee number. And again, that is a physical prompt as if you're writing it. And then the default there, employee number will go for 9999. And as you can see, that's all grayed out. A line below is ticked. Click on OK. And it drops it in there like so. We'll right click again. And we'll repeat @def one more time to bring up the attribute definition dialog box. Remember, invisible is unticked. And you want to align below. So tick that box. You have to do it each time, remember. Now, last but not least, we'll have employee extension number. So you can see where the format's going with that. And again, prompt will be employee extension. Make sure you spell extension right. I'm terrible for spelling that word. And the default there might be, I don't know, let's go for 123. Again, because we're aligning and that's ticked, insertion point, text settings are all grayed out. So we click on OK, and there's our 3 there, like so. Now, those are just attributes placed in a random location. You might use some object snaps, some spacings there to get it nice and neat and tidy. So now, staying on the Insert tab on the ribbon, we go to Create Block. So we click on the flyout here, make sure we click on Create Block. Now, the name of this is going to be Workstation _ ATTR, so that we know it's got attributes. I'm going to go to the pick point icon here, use that corner of the desk there, select the objects. Remember, like we did when we created a block previously, and I'm going to select everything. So this is all the bits that make up the block and the attributes. So I'm going to click there, crossing selection, go all the way through and over just to make sure I've got everything. And then once I've got everything selected, press enter. There's our little preview. There's our weird X and Y values. And we're going to select delete in the block definition dialog like we've done previously. Make sure that you scale uniformly. Make sure that you allow exploding so that you can explode the block, make some changes to the block, and perhaps create a slightly different block out of it. Block units will be millimeters. Make sure that open in block editor is unticked. I've used the block editor recently. I just want to make sure that's unticked. Click on OK, and everything disappears. Now, we're going to go to the Home tab on the ribbon, go to the Layer flyout here on the Layers panel, and you want to make sure that you're on the Workstations layer, so that when you bring the block in now, it'll go onto the Workstations layer. So we go back to the Insert tab on the ribbon, we go to here, click on Insert, use the slider bar, there's Workstation attributes there, click on it, pop it into the drawing and left click somewhere in the space there, and then you get prompted for employee extension, number and name. I'm going to leave them as they are, as the defaults that we set up in the attributes. Click on OK, and there is my block with attributes all set up in my AutoCAD drawing.